Marley was dead to begin with.
What? He was not dead. Oh yes, my bad, he was dead. Dead as a doornail.
This must be distinctly understood. Nothing wonderful will come of the story I'm going to relate. Ebenezer Scrooge and Marley were partners for I don't know how many years.
Scrooge was his sole executor, sole administrator, sole acquaintance, and sole mourner.
He was a tight-fisted, hand-at-the-grindstone Scrooge, a squeezing, wrenching, grasping, clutching, covetous old sinner.
A real mean grouch, if you ask me.
Hard and sharp as flint, secret and self-contained, as solitary as an oyster.
Once upon a time, of all the good days of the year, on Christmas Eve, old Scrooge sat busy in his counting house.
It was cold, bleak, biting weather.
Merry Christmas, Uncle.
What's that?
I said a Merry Christmas, Uncle.
Bah, humbug.
Christmas a humbug? Uncle, surely you don't mean that.
Why shouldn't I mean it? A Merry Christmas? What reason have you to be merry? You're poor enough.
What reason have you to be dismal? You're rich enough.
What's Christmas to you? But a time of paying bills without money, growing a year older and not a penny richer. If I could work my will, every imbecile that goes with a Merry Christmas upon his lips should be boiled with his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through his heart.
Uncle.
Nephew, you keep Christmas your way, and I'll keep it to mine.
Keep it, but you don't keep it.
Then let me leave it alone then. A lot of good it's done you.
I've always thought of Christmas as a good time. A kind, forgiving, charitable, and pleasant time. And even though it has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe that it has done me good and will do me good, and I say, God bless it.
Another sound out of you, Cratchit, and you'll be keeping Christmas by losing your situation.
Don't be angry, Uncle. Come and dine with us tomorrow.
Not a chance.
But why, Uncle?
Why? Why, let me ask you a question. Why did you get married?
Because I fell in love.
Because you fell in love? That's the only thing more ridiculous than a Merry Christmas. Good afternoon, nephew.
I want nothing from you. I ask nothing of you. Why won't you come?
Good afternoon.
I am sorry to find you so resolute, but I came all this way to give you greetings of the season, and I'll keep my Christmas humor to the last. So Merry Christmas, Uncle, and a Happy New Year.
Good afternoon.
Oh, and a Merry Christmas to you, Bob Cratchit.
Thank you, sir. A Merry Christmas to you.
Come in.
Scrooge Marley's, I believe. Have I the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?
Marley's dead. In fact, he died 7 years ago. It's very late.
Oh, well, I am quite sorry to hear that. But I've no doubt his generosity is well represented by his surviving partner.
At this festive season of the year, Mrs. Scrooge, it's more than usually desirable that we should make some slight provision for the poor and needy. Many thousands are in one place of need, sir.
Are there no prisons? Did they disappear?
Oh no, there are still plenty of prisons.
And the workhouses for the poor? Still in operation, I assume.
They are, though I wish they could say they were not.
I'm glad to hear it.
We choose this time because it is a time above all others when it does the most good for those in need. What shall I put you down for?
Nothing.
Ah, you wish to be anonymous then?
I wish to be left alone. I don't make merry myself at Christmas, and I can't afford to make others merry either. The workhouses and prisons cost enough. Those who are badly off must go there. Good afternoon.
Excuse me, Mr. Scrooge. It's closing time, sir.
You want a day off tomorrow, I assume?
If it's quite convenient, sir.
It's not convenient, and it's not fair. If I were to pay a half-day's wage for it, you would think you were being abused. And yet you think of me ill-used when I pay a half-day's wage for no work.
It's only once a year, sir.
A poor excuse for picking a man's pocket every 25th of December. But I suppose if you must have it, be here all the earlier the next morning.
Oh, yes, sir. I shall. I certainly shall.
Scrooge walked out with a growl. The sleep was so dark that even Scrooge, who knew every stone, had to feel his way with his hands in front of him in the dark.
Now, there was nothing at all particular about the knock at Scrooge's front door. Nothing at all.
No, there's something very particular about the knocker on Scrooge's front door. In fact, it was very large. But suddenly, as Scrooge reached for the knocker, it suddenly changed into dead Jacob Marley's face.
Scrooge screamed a terrible scream and fell back. But suddenly, there was a knocker again.
Humbug. He closed the door with a bang.
What do you want from me, Matt? Who are you? Ask me who I was. All right, who were you then? In life, I was your partner, Jacob Marley. That's impossible. Why do you doubt your senses? Because little things can make them cheat. A slight disorder of the stomach can affect it. And you might be an underdone piece of potato, a glob of mustard. Yes, there's more gravy about you than a grave. Gravy? There's more gravy than about me than a grave? What do you mean? Spirit, why do you haunt me? My purpose is to warn you. It requires of every fellow man to travel far and wide and visit his spirit. And if that spirit does not go forth in life, is condemned to do so after death. You were chained. Why? I wear these chains I forged in life. I made it link by link, yard by yard, and wore it to my own free will. It's as heavy as it was 7 Christmas Eves ago, and even more so now. Jacob, speak comfort to me. I have none to give. I have no time. I cannot linger. No sprays of regrets can make amends for one's life misused. I was a fool. You were a good man of business, Jacob. Business? Mankind should have been my business. Charity, mercy, it should have been my only business. Hear me, my time is nearly done. I will, Jacob. You have yet of escaping my fate, Ebenezer. You were a good friend. You are going to be visited by 3 spirits. That's the chance and hope you mentioned? It is. I'd rather not. Except the first one tonight when the clock strikes 12. And the next one at the same hour. And the next one upon the 3rd night when the last stroke of 12 has ceased. Can't I just have them all at once to get it over with? Look to me no more. Remember what I've said.
And so Scrooge lay on his couch, and he thought, and he thought, and he thought, and he could make nothing of it.
You're right, Scrooge should have more faith in his senses. The more he thought, the more he tried not to think. And the more he tried not to think, the more he thought. Was it a dream? Was it real? Scrooge was unsure.
Was I dreaming?
Oh, nothing. Scrooge. Are you the spirit whose coming was foretold to me?
I am.
Who are you?
I am the spirit of Christmas past.
Long past?
Your past, Ebenezer.
What brings you here, spirit?
Your well-being, of course.
I can't think of anything better for my well-being than a full night of sleep.
Your salvation, then. Take heed, rise, and walk with me.
Good heavens. I was bred in this place.
Do you remember the way, Ebenezer?
Remember it? I was a child here. I could walk it blindfolded.
Strange that you've forgotten it for so many years.
those boys?
Oh, Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas!
Say hello to your sisters and me.
Don't eat too much pudding!
The school is not quite deserted. A lonely child neglected by his friends is left there still.
I was a lonely child. My mother died giving birth to my sister, and my father grew morose and begrudged us both even after.
Come along, Ebenezer. It's time to see another Christmas.
Dear brother!
Little Fan, you've grown.
I've come to bring you home, brother.
Home, little Fan?
Yes. Father's much kinder than he used to be. Yes, home. Yes, father's kinder than he used to be. He was in the hospital just the other night, so I wasn't able to ask him once more to come home. And he said, yes, you should.
His sister was a frail creature and often ill, but she had a large heart.
You're right about that, Spirit. I will not contradict it. God forbid.
Come, Ebenezer, pack your things. The carriage is outside.
Are you sure Father is ready to have me home?
Oh, yes, I'm sure of it.
And where am I to be apprentice?
You'll work for a wonderful woman, Mrs. Fezziwig, who keeps a warehouse. Now come, you mustn't keep the carriage waiting.
Your sister died, young woman, but she had a child, as I recall.
Yes, a son. My nephew. His name is Fred Hollowell.
Your nephew, Ebenezer, the only family you have left.
Yes, that is true.
Come, Ebenezer. It's time to see another Christmas.
Ebenezer, no more work tonight. It's Christmas Eve. Take all this nonsense away. We must make room. Life is too short for all work and no play. I say, it's time for a party.
Such a small thing to make these silly people feel so much gratitude and joy.
Small thing.
Is it not? After all, what did he do, this Fezziwig? Spent a few pounds on a party. Does she deserve such praise as this?
It isn't that, Spirit. Miss Fezziwig had the power to make us happy or unhappy, or work pleasant or unpleasant, just in the way she looked at us and addressed us. 1,000 such little things add up, you know, until they cost us much as a fortune, and
What is it?
nothing.
Something, I think.
No, it's just, I wanted to say something to my clerk just then, that's all.
Come, Ebenezer, my time grows short. Look. Again, Scrooge saw himself. He was a man in the prime of life.
Yes, he was, but his face had not the harsh and rigid lines of later years. It had begun to wear the signs of care and avarice.
There was a restless, greedy motion in the eye.
Yes, and he sat by the side of a fair young girl in a morning dress.
In whose eyes were tears that shone in the light of the ghost of Christmas past.
I know it means very little to you. I have no reason to cry. What is it? You fear the world too much, Ebenezer. I've seen all your hopes merge into the one hope, alluding to the disdain of others. I've seen all your good traits fall away one by one until nothing is left but the pursuit of money. It's all you care about. I haven't changed my feelings towards you. Oh, Ebenezer, our promise to one another is an old one. We made it when we were poor and young and happy to remain so. And now I think, would you still seek me out, a poor girl with nothing to bring to a marriage? May you be happy in the life you have chosen. Spirit, why are you showing me this?
There's one more shadow we must see.
I don't wish to see it. Show me no more.
I told you, these are shadows of things that have been. They are what they are.
Take
Do
me
not
away
blame
from
me.
here. I can bear no more.
I am the spirit of Christmas present. You've never seen the likes of me before, eh?
No, never.
You've never walked forth with any of my elder brothers born in these later years?
No, I don't believe I have. Have you many brothers and sister spirit?
Many, more than 1,800.
Imagine the grocery bills.
Come walk with me, Ebenezer Scrooge.
Where are we going?
You will see.
Is there a peculiar flavor which you sprinkle from the torch?
There is indeed.
Does it have to do with any sort of dinner on this day?
It's any kindly given to a poor one most.
Why to a poor one most?
Well, because they need it most.
What is keeping your father then? And your brother Tiny Tim? And Martha wasn't this late last Christmas by half an hour. Oh, here I am, Mother. Oh, Martha, how late you are. We had a great deal of work to clear away at the milliner's last night, and a great deal this morning. Oh, well, never mind. You are home, but Father will be home any minute. Hide, Mother, hide.
But where's Martha?
She won't be coming for Christmas this year, I'm afraid.
What? Not coming for Christmas?
Oh, here I am, Father. Come, Tim. Come to the pudding bubbling in the pot. And did little Tim behave himself in church?
Yes, he did. As good as gold and better. Although he does get thoughtful sitting by himself so much. And he thinks the strangest things you've ever heard. He told me, coming home, that he hoped people saw him because he was a cripple. And it might be pleasant for them to count their blessings on Christmas Day.
Martha, help me with the goose.
There's such a goose, Father. Such that we've never had before.
Such a goose. Just smell the sated onion.
Well, I outdid herself this year.
We got it for a good price, Father.
It wasn't expensive at all.
Merry Christmas to us all, my dears. God bless us.
God bless us!
God bless us, everyone.
Such a small feast for a family as large as theirs. I had no idea Cratchit had a crippled son.
I wonder why.
Tell me, Spirit, will the boy live?
I see a vacancy at the table, a crutch without an owner carefully preserved. If these shadows remain unaltered by the future, the child will die.
No, Spirit, that cannot happen.
But what difference does it make? If the child is likely to die, then you'd better do it and decrease the surplus population, right?
You use my words against me.
Yes, so that in the future, perhaps, you will learn to hold your tongue.
And now, dear ones, a toast. I give you Mr. Scrooge, the founder of our feast.
The founder of our feast, indeed. I wish I had him here. I'd give him a piece of my mind to feast upon.
My dear, the children, Christmas Day.
Oh, all right then. I'll drink his health, for your sake and the day's sake, but not for his. Long life to him. A very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I've no doubt he'll be very merry indeed.
To Mr. Scrooge.
To Mr. Scrooge.
To Mr. Scrooge.
To Mr. Scrooge.
And I think it's time for a song.
A Christmas carol.
What shall we sing?
real comical old fellow, and not as pleasant as he might be. However, his offences carry on their own punishment, and I have nothing to say against him.
Well, I'm sure he's very rich, Fred. At least you always tell me so.
But his wealth is of no use. He doesn't do any good with it. He doesn't make himself comfortable with it. And I sincerely doubt he'll ever consider benefiting us with it.
Well, then I don't feel sorry for him.
Oh, but I do, and I mean to give him the same chance every year, whether he likes it or not. He has given us plenty of merriment, and I'm sure he'd be very ungrateful not to drink his health. Here's to Uncle Scrooge!
To Uncle Scrooge!
Normally I would take offense to such tasteless banter and laughter at my expense. However, in the view of the occasion, I'm inclined to overlook it.
And that is quite noble of you, unless you change your ways. I see written the word doom, unless the writing be erased.
Is there no mercy?
Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses?
I've seen the time in the presence of spirit of Christmas yet to come. And you will be showing me the shadows of the things that have not yet happened, but will happen in the time before us. Is that not so, Spirit? Spirit, I fear you more than any other spectre that I've seen. Will you not speak to me? Very well. Lead on, Spirit. The night is passing fast, and this is precious time to go.
Now, I don't know anything about it. Either way, I only know he's dead.
When did he die?
Last night, I believe.
What was the matter with him? I thought he'd never die.
Who knows?
What has he done with all his money?
I haven't heard. I only know he hasn't given it to me.
Well, it's likely to be a cheap funeral. I don't know anybody who'd go to it.
Well, I don't mind going if a lunch is provided.
Have these men no sense of decency?
Oh, Thomas, you're finally home. What have you heard? Is it good or bad?
It's bad, I'm afraid.
Are we ruined, Thomas? Did he deny the extra time he asked for? Has he evicted us?
No, there's hope yet, Caroline.
If only he repents, that old miser. Nothing is past hope if such a miracle's happened.
He's past repenting, dear. He's dead.
Dead? Oh, thank heaven. Oh, what am I seeing?
I thought he was merely trying to avoid me. But if what I have been told is true, he wasn't only ill, but he was dying, even then.
So whom will our debt be transferred?
I don't know. But when the time comes, we'll be ready, with the money. We can sleep with light hearts tonight, Caroline.
Why am I seeing this, Spirit?
This color hurts my eyes. There, better now. The candlelight makes them weak. And I wouldn't show weak eyes to your father when he comes home. Not for the world. It must be near his time.
Past it, rather. I'm afraid he's walked a little slower these past few evenings, Mother.
Yes, I've known him to walk with Tiny Tim upon his shoulder. Very fast indeed.
And so have I.
So have I. But he was very light to carry. And his father loved him so that there was no trouble. No trouble at all. Is that your father now?
I went by there today is why I'm so late. It would have done you good to see how green it is. But you'll see it often. I promised him that I would walk by there every Sunday to visit him. You see, But guess whom I saw today? Fred Hollowell, Uncle Scrooge's nephew. Mr. Scrooge. I met him on the street, and he's the most pleasant-speaking man you've ever heard. So I was not afraid to tell him. And this is what he said to me. I'm heartily sorry, Mr. Scrooge. Heartily sorry. And he pledged to be of any service he could to us. And I've got good news for you, Peter.
What is it, Father?
Mr. Hollowell has been able to secure an apprenticeship for you. You'll start 8 shillings a week Tuesday next.
8 shillings a week?
Soon you'll be keeping company with the young lady, Peter, and setting up a house for yourself.
Yes, that'll happen soon enough. But, however, and we'll never split apart from each other. None of us will ever forget poor Tiny Tim, shall we?
Oh, Father, never.
And I know as well, my dears, that when we remember how patient and mild he was, though he was a little child, we shall not quarrel among ourselves and forget our little Tim in doing it.
No, we won't, Mother, never.
Spirit, what does this mean? Spirit, I fear the moment of our parting is coming at hand. I know it, but I don't know how. Before you go, answer me one question. What was the name of the man that was spoken of? Before I draw nearer to the stone at which you point, tell me, are these the shadows of the things that may be, or the things that will be only? A man can change his fate if there's good in his heart. I know that now. I accept it. No. No, it can't be. I'm the man who died and no one mourned. Say it isn't so, Spirit, say it isn't so. Why show me this if I'm past all hope? Surely I can write away the writing on the stone. I can change myself and those around me. I will honor Christmas in my heart and keep it all year. I will learn from the lessons of the past, present, and future. The spirits of all three will strive within me. Spirit, tell me I can wipe away the writing on the stone. Myself. I feel as light as a feather, as happy as an angel, as giddy as a schoolboy. Hey boy, what day is it?
What day is it?
Yes, what day is today?
Why, it's Christmas Day!
Christmas Day? You're quite sure, my good fellow?
I should say I am.
That means they've done it all in one night. The spirits of Christmas past, present, and future. Of course they can. They can do anything they like. Do you know the butcher?
I should say I do.
And is the prize turkey still hanging there?
What? The one as big as me?
Yes, the one as big as you.
Why? It's hanging there now.
Then you must go and buy it.
Please!
No, I really do mean it. Go and buy the turkey and tell him to bring it around. And I will give him the directions as to where to deliver it. Come back with the man and I'll give you a shilling. Come back with the man in less than 5 minutes and I'll give you half a crown. I'll send it to Bob Cratchit's. He won't know who sent it, because I won't tell him. The turkey is twice the size of Tiny Tim. Tiny Tim. Tiny Tim will live. On my soul, Tiny Tim will live. I say it on my knees, a Merry Christmas to everybody.
Hello, sir?
The turkey! Merry Christmas, sir!
Merry Christmas, sir.
Is it possible that you can deliver this to Camden Town?
Camden Town, sir?
Yes, this turkey is to be delivered immediately to Camden Town, to the home of Bob Cratchit. delivery.
Thank you, sir.
And the money for the turkey.
Thank you, sir.
And the money for you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And here is half a crown.
Thank you, sir.
Well deserved. Very well deserved. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Good afternoon, ladies.
Mr. Scrooge?
Yes, it is I, Mr. Scrooge. Although that name must not be very pleasant to you. And I would like to ask for your forgiveness. And for yours, sir.
Yes, sir.
And I would like to donate.
Lord bless me! Mr. Scrooge, are you being quite serious?
I should say I am. And I mean for you to keep every penny of it. And many back payments are included in it. I can assure you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I'm obliged to you. And Merry Christmas to you both.
Merry Christmas!
Scrooge walked about the streets and watched the people as they hurried to and from, and patted children on the head as they passed, and questioned beggars, and looked up to the windows of kitchens. He found that everything could yield him pleasure.
Quite an improvement, actually. Scrooge had never thought that any walk or anything at all could give him such pleasure. And in the afternoon, he turned his steps and walked towards his nephew's house.
Oh, Fred, it's beautiful, and it's too much. You shouldn't have spent so much.
But I love you, my dear, and my wife deserves the very best on Christmas Day.
Ding dong. Now, who can that be?
No one's expected at this hour.
Hello, Fred.
Uncle Scrooge!
It is I, your Uncle Scrooge. Now, I do recall an invitation from yesterday to come and dine with you, and I would like to accept if it is still available.
Why, I don't know what to say.
We could start with come in.
Come in? Of course you shall come in. Uncle Scrooge, you made us both very happy. Oh, and may I introduce to my wife, Janet and Uncle Scrooge.
It is a pleasure to meet you. You are every bit as lovely as I have heard.
Why, thank you, Uncle Scrooge. We are so happy you're here.
I'm sorry, Fred, about everything that I said to you yesterday, and everything about Christmas, of which you were so undeserving. I see the image of my sister in your face, you know. I loved her, and she, you.
She loved you very much, Scrooge. I know it. And she wished until a dying day that we shall always be very good.
And we all, Fred, so we shall be. So we shall be. Mr. Cratchit, you are late, sir.
Yes, sir.
What do you mean by coming here at this time of day?
I'm sorry, sir. I'm past my time.
I will not stand for this any longer. And therefore, I'm going to double your salary. Yes, I'm going to double your salary and pay the mortgage on your house. Yes, and I will endeavor any way to assist your family. And as for Tiny Tim will walk again. I know it. Now you needn't say a thing, Bob Cratchit. We will discuss the particulars over a smoking bowl of dishes before you as much dot another I.
Scrooge was better than his word. He did it all and infinitely more.
And to Tiny Tim, who did not die, he was a second father, and an excellent father at that.
He became as good a man, as good a master, and as good a friend as the good old city ever knew. It was always said from then onward that Scrooge knew how to keep Christmas.
And keep it well.
May that be truly be said of all of us. All of us. And so, as Tiny Tim observed,
God bless us.
God bless us, everyone!